everybody. Welcome back to the cabin. And boy, do we have a busy day today. Hey, honey.
Hey.
Did you get done with my honeydew list?
What honeydew list?
Did I forget to give it to you?
Must have did, or I wasn't listening.
You ready for it?
Give it to me.
I need my shop insulated, and I need my herb garden raised beds built today. Can you do that?
Today?
Today?
It won't take long. I can take care of that. Be right back.
We'll see. Are you done?
I'm done.
Already?
Yep, it's all done. I'm gonna check it.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Come on.
Oh my goodness. Look at this insulation. This is like a birthday present to me, and let me tell you why. This little shop in the summertime is unbearable, and my sweet husband actually come out here and insulated this for me so that I can work this summer, and actually in the wintertime too, because we can heat it, and it'll take a whole lot less to heat it. But that's my soap table right there. And the reason that I can't use it in the summertime and I can't leave my oils out here is they go bad, is because of the heat. And now I'll be able to come out here in comfort and leave my oils out here, and my essential oils and my coconut oils and the different things that I make my soap with, okay? And then I just have work benches.
I just shoved everything up against the wall. You'll have to get out here and show me where you want your shelves and everything.
Oh yeah, it's not done yet, but it won't take it long. And if you look, that little window right there, that's going to be a window unit air conditioner. So this is a blessing. It's not organized yet, but that's part of the fun, is getting out here and getting it back organized and everything. It is fun for me. So okay, all right. Well, this is fun. Thank you very much, honey. I appreciate this. You don't know how much.
Are you going to check out the raised beds?
Yes, let's go check out the raised beds. Let's look over here at the comfrey. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to show you. The comfrey was already here. Let me back up and show you. The red blocks there are some leftover flue pieces from the chimney build, and I'm going to plant some peppermint in that. I need to replant my peppermint, so it'll go in there. But the reason that the comfrey beds are 2 blocks high is that comfrey has a very long taproot. So, and it may even go down into the ground past these blocks. But we wanted to give it a head start. Now this comfrey is actually called Bocking 4. The most common comfrey is Bocking 14. But I just put these in not long ago, and they're beginning to take pretty good root. And so this spring, this is I put them in the fall, late fall, and this is winter. This spring they should take off, and hopefully I'll be able to propagate it and fill this bed up. And the reason that we have comfrey, one is to make a comfrey salve, but the reason I went with the Bocking 4 here is because it's less bitter and the livestock will eat it more readily, the chickens and the cow and the horses. But it's the reason I wanted it for Lily is because it's full of calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, and things that she needs. And she's keeping watch over it right there. Look at that girl. Okay. But this is actually going to be my medicinal herb garden. My husband was so sweet to build this for me. One of these is going to be full of plantain, good Lord willing, because I use a lot of plantain, and I'll reference up top to my acid reflux video, and you can go watch that and you'll know why I love plantain. But we're going to put, the plan is things like calendula, dandelion, marshmallow, echinacea. We might have to have some more raised beds before spring gets here, honey. He's walking away. He didn't want to hear that. So that's the plans coming up. You know, you start planning in the wintertime for what you want to do in the spring. You don't want to start in the spring. You want to start in the winter. And like I said, we're going to put worms, and probably put some worms over here too. And they'll finish breaking that down. And then come spring, we may have to add some more amendments, some topsoil or something to finish filling them up. But Lord willing, they'll be good, fertile, balanced raised beds for that. So that's an elderberry that I got started. You know I love elderberry. Video on that too. I'll link to it. Remember, it's December the 24th. And look at this plantain. And I will be cutting it. I'm going to give it a little bit longer. And it's also on the south side. We seem to have plantain popping up when it can be protected on the south side of a building or something, and where the cold doesn't get it. Doesn't affect it. But there you go. There's some more. And like I said, up to this past year, I've foraged everything right out of the yard and on the place. All the plantain that I used. Another little blessing on the homestead. And let's go check out the nesting boxes and see what we've got. They're used to me bringing scraps out here. It's been raining for several days. I've got my muck boots on for a reason. It's a little bit muddy out here. But let's see. Do we have any eggs? Oh yeah, they like to get back here in the back corner. Oh yeah, there they are. Let me see if I can get those gathered up. Just 3 today. It's winter time, so we're not getting a lot. We're getting all we need though. All right. Yep, that's Cogburn from the John Wayne movie, Rooster Cogburn. He's a good rooster. He's not aggressive at all. We don't like aggressive roosters because I have grandchildren. Okay, in that little section right there, we do put scraps over there and sometimes wet hay and leave it, and it'll get composted down pretty good, but I don't have anything out there now. So, all right, let's head on to the next one. And the reason that this pen is up off the ground, you can look down there and see we've got it. And actually, it's kind of funny, it's kind of neat. What we did was, this is an old porch floor from an old mobile home, and we just used it to build this pen on. And we like our hogs up off the ground because one thing is that it's easier to keep the pen clean. You can come out here once a day and rinse it out. And also, they don't get a worm load like they would if they were on the ground. Now, there is an advantage to them being on the ground as well, but we really don't have room to put them out on the ground where they can root and eat, and acorns and scraps and stuff like that, or grass and things like that. But this is a good alternative for us, and we don't keep them long enough. What, honey, about?
And with just 2 hogs, it's easy to keep them up off the ground. Now, if we had 10 hogs,
oh yeah,
we couldn't do that.
Yeah. So these and we don't raise them to anything past about the star of the show. past about 150 pounds, and it's easy for me to handle if I have to take them off by myself, or me and my son. About somebody scratching. But we've used the raised pens for a long time. Works out really good for us. Now we had a very cold snap here a while back, and so we had the tarp pulled around and we had a bed of hay in there so they could keep warm, and it worked out really good. But it's nice now today, and it's all opened up and they're just chilling, enjoying the day. This is Bubba. This is my personal horse, and I've had him for almost 29 years, honey. 29 years coming this May. He was born May the 31st of 1990. 1990. And we bought him when he was about 10 months old, and we've had him ever since. And he's a retired barrel horse. I didn't get to barrel race a lot over the years, but what I did get to barrel race, I absolutely loved it. But in a future video, we will talk about senior horse care. So for one that is soon be 30 years old, you know, he's still got pretty good body condition, got good joints. He's just, for his age, he's in very good health. But we'll talk about that in a future video, and there's a lot of little tidbits that you can do to keep your senior horses in good shape and happy and healthy. So he's a blessing. So here's a quick shot. I'm going to go up and see my chimney of our little cabin. And we love the signs on the front porch. We kind of scoured around. They're not all old. I think a couple of them are. I don't really remember. We've got several old ones around here on the place. But that's it. That's our little cabin. And it's tiny, but it's a mansion to us. We love it. And if you look, there's an asparagus fern actually on the up by the door, and that asparagus fern is a cutting that my sister actually grew from a cutting from my grandmother's, and she had propagated them over the years, and so gave me one, I guess, last year, and I potted it and it just went crazy. It's just beautiful, and that's way back from my childhood. I remember that original asparagus fern. So that's just another little blessing that's provided. But this is our cabin, and one day I'll do a cabin tour on the inside. It's not fancy by any means, but it's comfortable and we love it. So I'll meet you back on the porch. Well, I hope you enjoyed the little walk around the place and seeing a couple of the projects that we got finished and some of the future plans that we've got with the raised beds and building more raised beds in the comfrey and different things going on around the place. And you got to meet some more of the animals, Bubba and Cowboy, and of course you saw Lily and the chickens and all things homestead around here. And the asparagus fern, I'm going to speak about that just a little bit. That asparagus fern means an awful lot to me because it was from my grandmother's originally, and my grandmother and my grandfather instilled a love in me and left a legacy with me about all things country and rural. And as a child, a small child, 5 and 6 years old, some of my sweetest memories is riding on the back of a little white mule named Nellie while she was plowing the garden. My grandmother would come out and throw an old worn quilt on her back, and my grandfather would throw me up on that mule, and I would hold on to the collar and watch her long ears swaying back and forth, and I would talk to her, and she would listen, and it just instilled something in me that I have never lost. And my grandmother was a godly woman, and she spoke of God in a very real way in my childhood, and she instilled something in my heart that I've never forgotten. And my grandfather lived a godly life his whole life, and instilled what a godly man should be in my heart. And it was carried on through my mother and my daddy that raised me in a Christian home. And those are blessings that are eternal, and I'll never forget those. And the things that were instilled in me as a child, I'm hoping that I can also portray and instill in my children and grandchildren as well. And I hope that you see a part of that, and I hope that you see that there is an eternal life, a heaven to gain, and in all of these videos, and that it's very real to me, and I hope it's real in your life as well. And I want to leave you with this thought. Don't ever forget that your Heavenly Father loves you. And I'll see you on the next video. God bless.